Okay, now we're going to do the powder finish. You definitely want to wear a mask when you do this because the powder is very fine and gets all over. So make sure you put a mask on. So I'm going to get the mask on the face. And then we're going to pour some of this out on a plate. And I'm going to break it up. I'm going to use this nice soft brush. It's a smaller one for him, but it's very, very soft and nice. And it works good. I've already powdered him once and then decided to do a little bit more work on him. Now, a little bit goes a long ways, you guys. You don't need that much out. So there's what I'm going to lay out for now. I can always put more out if I need it. And I did do both sides of him already, even though he's laying on the bag and you're thinking, well, he's going to be touching. He's fine. I did both sides so I can powder both sides and then put him away because the mat, when you put it on him, it almost makes him feel like he's dry. But, of course, he's going to dry for 4 hours, so it seals into it. The powder stuff will seal into him. But, yeah, I did both sides already with that silicone, and then I'm just going to do both sides. But on here, I'm just going to show you guys one side, but I'm ready to flip him over and do the other side. So I'm going to break up the pieces in here. See how you got some, bigger pieces on the plate here? I hope you guys can see that. So you want to make sure that you finally break this powder up. Break the pieces up because there were some big chunks in here. And so make sure you're breaking it up. Like I said, it's like chalky. It's not like a regular baby powder at all. So this is not a powder you would continue to use for this baby. Just for this step here. I just was completely wrong. Like I said, the lady on the phone's like, what? She didn't even know what I was talking about when I said, now afterwards, I'm like maybe, months down the road and stuff, can I powder him again with this? And she goes, no, you would never use that as a baby powder. She said, why do you think that? And then I just think she didn't remember that because they don't work with babies there with the company that I got it through, the Fuse FX. They don't work with babies. They're just a movie prop. So they're not thinking about that powder finish that you do on a baby, like to soften up a baby and stuff like that because they're just like movie production. So she just didn't know. But then I looked into it more and I found out what the powder was. All right. So it looks like it's good. We're going to get a little bit on the baby and a little goes a long ways. So we're going to go ahead and start powdering him. See how much, a little tiny bit on there and it just goes so long. It's just, yeah, it goes everywhere. So you can just pick it up off the bag and do it on him. Just make sure, like I said, it's important to have a good proper brush that's soft because that one I used was not a soft brush. So you can see we're not having any chemical reaction, thank God, like I did that time. But like I said, I've got it down pat now because I've already had to do him twice. So that's okay. And it's okay if you get some in the mouth. His mouth is open. It's okay if you get some in the mouth because we're going to be, watching him. And then, of course, I'm going to, shine that up. And if you want to get through where he is there, just where you see the pieces in between his eyes and stuff, even though we're going to give him a bath in 4 hours. So that'll fix everything up there. I just, just letting you know, don't worry if it gets in the eyes and the mouth and stuff like that. But you can wipe it away. Make sure you get every part of him. So he is matte finish because that's what's going to give this baby that beautiful, beautiful lifelike look. So they're not shiny. Get some more. Go down the legs. And it's more tapping like this, tapping it on than really rubbing it on. Don't really rub it on. Just tap it. And that's the best way to do it. And then you won't have any issues with this silicone powder or matte powder finish. You won't have any reaction like I did that first time. Boy, that scared me, you guys. I thought after all that work, this little baby's ruined, and that's it. I don't know what to do to fix him. I don't know what to do, and thank God I was able I spent over an hour at that sink. I couldn't believe that I actually got most of it off. But I had to use my finger to get it off, in my nail, kind of scraping it like that. And thank God I didn't really take any of his paint off. I was surprised that I didn't get any of the paint off of him, So, but yeah, this is that step. And then all that's really left is doing the fingernails and the fingernails, doing them, which his are already done. But I might do a little bit more to them because I had already done this baby. And so if I need to do the nails again, I'm going to do the nails. But then it's just really just shining up his areas that need to be shiny versus, the matte finish. You'll have a few parts that need to be shiny. So, all right, that's it, you guys. He's all nice and matted here. And like I said, don't worry if you think, well, I may have gotten too much or something like that. No, you're totally fine. If you see little blotches, as long as it's not pieces of silicone forming where you'll see the difference, you'll see shiny too. I'm not seeing any shiny. So don't worry about this part because this will all wash off at the end when you give him that bath. And it's only just water. That rinse is just water. You won't be doing any soap or anything. That's just water. All right, so I think I've done a good job on this side. I'm going to be flipping him over and then putting him away. I'll put it up on the screen there. He's going to cure for 4 hours with this last step here of the, you know, the matte powder finish. So, all right, let me get this done, and we'll be back with the very last step on him. Okay, guys, just an important step here. Make sure you still have your mask on, but you can go ahead and save what is left over of this powder. So just go back into the jar, just go like this and, you know, save it. Don't throw this away because this powder goes a long ways. It can last for a while. So if you have other babies to do, you know, the powder is expensive too. So you want to save every last drop you can. So I just wanted to show you guys that. And then, of course, you're going to throw this brush away. You're not going to save it because it would have got silicone in it. So let's just throw it away. And once you seal up this step here and get the gloves off and everything and get the powder out of your way, then you can go ahead and take the mask off. But just make sure you know, I'm just going to go onto here because I'm going to brush this outside. If there's anything else on here, I'm just going to go like this. But then just throw away the brush and then shake this off. I'm going to shake this, this off here because there's just a tiny bit of powder on this. I'm going to shake it off and get rid of it, and then I'll remove the mask. All right. All right, guys, the matte finish is all done, dried up for 4 hours, and then washed under just warm, clear water just to wash off that top layer of the silicone. And he's all ready now to shine him up in the eyes, inside the nose, going down the nose a little bit, inside the mouth, around the lips, and then around the belly button. And I've got some laid out. It's the same stuff that I used to seal him. It's the silicone, the 110 in the Part A 50-50 mix. I wrote it right there on the screen. And I've got a little detail brush and a little bit out on a little cover here. I'm just calling it my palette. So we're going to get a little bit out and use this detail brush. And we'll kind of draw in close here so you guys can see as I do this. We'll slide him down a little bit in the video. All right, so I'll start with his eyes. Let's just go inside the eyelids where they're closed. And we're going to get them nice and shiny because a baby would have shine in that area. One, their eyes, you know, leak, they cry, you know, just all kinds of stuff. So you want to have that shiny in the eyelid there. It just really defines the baby. It really does. And sometimes a baby this young, they would be putting like the Vaseline there around their eyes. Since their eyes are closed a lot, they put that Vaseline in there. So this is a great step to do. All right. And then go inside this eye. And I'm just using a small detail brush. Don't worry, you know, that if you get a little bit around it more than you want, it's fine. It's going to look great. I've already done him once and then wanted to do some more detailing. I hope I'm not in the video there. So I've already done it once and it looked fantastic. And it doesn't matter if it gets a little bit, like I said, under the eyelid itself, like just underneath it and stuff like that. That doesn't matter because, again, if they were putting on like a Vaseline on their eyes or something on their eyes, you know, to help them so they're not so dried out, it would kind of get all over, you know. So you don't have to be perfect with this step, but try to do it, you know, the best that you can. And then we're going to go up inside the nose because every nose is wet inside. We all know that because our nose runs and everything, especially a baby. So go up inside the nose to get that shiny there. And I'm going to do it one more time on each side. And then we're going to come down the nose, which really defines the baby too. It's like, you know, the baby's got a little bit of a runny nose. So we're going to come down this area here on each side, just making it look like, you know, he's got a little bit of a runny nose coming down like that on each side of that little indent in the lip there. And you can put some kind of in the center too, like that. And then we're going to go around the lips. Hopefully you guys are getting a good view of this. I'll probably tip him back a little bit. Let's go. Wait, let's see here. Okay. Tip him back, but keep his mouth open so I can get inside there. I'm going to go inside his mouth now and do his tongue and all of that up on the roof of his mouth, his gums, because all of that would be wet. None of us would have, you know, dry mouth. I know we get dry mouth, but it's still wet inside. So just, you know, make sure that you get all up inside the back of his throat, all of that, so that when you do open his mouth, you get that beautiful shine in there so it looks so real, you know. So just get a little bit more because I want to go up on his gums inside. His little gums show. So make sure he gets nice and shiny in there, little guy, so he looks like he's got the wetness. And then we're going to go around his lips. because, you know, you want the lips shiny too. It just brings, again, character to the baby, because I'm sure the lips would always be a little bit wet too. You know, I know that we don't always have wet lips, but babies, you know, drinking bottles and drooling, they would have wet lips a lot. So we're going to get these lips wet for him, wet looking. And then it just, again, brings so much character to the baby. And you don't need a lot. Remember, this silicone goes a long ways. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go around his belly button too. That's not in the camera. I'm going to slide him up a little bit. All right, and then we're just going to go around the belly button as well. Because, again, the belly button, if you remember on an umbilical cord, and I remember this with my child, I used to have to put, like, cream around it. A jelly consistency. I don't remember what it is. I'm sure you guys do. It's been 24 years since I had a little one, but I do remember doing this step. So shine it up. That's going to make it just pop and add more character again to the baby. And then we're going to do his little fingertips. I do have a little bit of the red on him, but now we're just going to shine it up with the silicone. I hope his fingers are in here for you to see. He's already got that little bit of red on there. And again, these fingertips were hard to do because he is so little. His fingertips are so tiny, and I just couldn't even possibly do a little white tip on him. But I did do the red. So we're just going to shine these up because fingernails, of course, would be a little bit more shiny than a matte finish, you know. So, all right, and I'm just going to lean the little hand like this so it can dry, so it stays like that. Hopefully it will. And not move there. Okay, good. All right, now the other hand. Oh, I'm going to have to. Oh, it didn't get ruined. I thought it did. All right, so we'll just kind of put his hand down again. I did have it one day. When I did it, it was fine. But I think when I move him a little bit, it kind of moves. So we're going to do this hand. Again, I'll try to get it up into the view for you guys. Like I said, he's got that little bit of red in there. And then we're going to silicone it so that that stays too, but also gives it that little bit of shine to the nail, just to kind of, you know, emphasize it a little bit more. And then the thumb. And that looks good. Set that one over the bag there. The bag can keep it lifted. And then we'll go down to his toes. And you see it's really just bringing the baby to life here. And we're going to do the little toes. I've also painted those with a little bit of red. And we're just going to go over and shine those up. And again, you don't need a lot. Little goes a long way, especially with the silicone. This stuff, that's why you wipe it off the baby. Tons of it after you put it on to powder them. You don't want a lot on. So we're just getting this part done. Okay, you won't see this one. I can't get this foot in the camera. But I'm just doing it the same as I did the other one. Just painting all the little toes. I am going to do detailed photos at the end too, so you guys can get really up close and personal with this baby. I'm actually going to do a video up close and personal, and then do photos so you can actually see his true color, because this video is semi-showing his true color, but he really is a little bit more red than this video is showing. This video is showing more, like I'm saying, like he's a tan baby, and he's more red due to the gestational stage. So put a little bit more in his eyes here. Just want to make sure this is good. Wipe that off there. And a little bit more on this side. Just want these really wet, and then he's going to, of course, dry again. So, yeah, let's just make sure we get this perfectly. I love doing the little gums up in there because they look so cute when they're wet. I think that is pretty much it for the baby as far as the very last step of just giving him that shine. And I'll just kind of get close here so you can see how that just makes it look more real. It's just so beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous baby. I'm very pleased with how he turned out. I'm just so excited. You know, I couldn't wait to paint him because when I got him, he looked more like a doll, obviously. Now he is lifelike and just gorgeous. I'm so in love with him. I was in love with him before, but now I'm madly in love because he just looks so real. It's like I want to send him into the hospital now because I just feel like he shouldn't be home with me at 27 gestational period. You know, I just feel like he needs to be in a NICU at a hospital. But I'm just having fun with him. I love him. He looks beautiful. And I'm very pleased with, you know, how he turned out. I'm wondering if I want to do a little bit of shine in the ears, because I know that Octavia had a little shine in her ears. So let's just give the baby just a little shine in the ears too. Not much, just around in the little creases like that, just to give it just a little bit of a shine. Put that hand down, little boy. And I'll put some on this side. Again, it's just a small little, this is a very small little coat that I'm doing, just inside the little ear canals, you know, the little ridges and everything in the ear canal, just to shine it up. Because I remember Octavia had a little bit in her ears as well. But I think that is it, you guys. We're going to dry him up for 4 hours in the Tupperware container with the cover on. Or you could blow dry him. But again, the blow drying process was taking so much longer on an older baby. So, and I just think he's getting dried better in the Tupperware container. You know, just take your time. Don't rush things. If you want to do the hair dry and it's a brand new baby, it should take better. I hope it did when I watched the Fuse FX video. When they did a brand new piece, it did dry up within 2 minutes. You know, each round, that's what he had wrote on the screen, 2 minutes or 2 hours in the Tupperware. But anyways, this little guy here will go in the Tupperware for 2 hours and he should be good. But because it's a silicone base, I'm going to let it sit for at least 4. That's what I did with that powder finish. But I think that's everything, you guys. And I'll do one last video of an up close and personal of him. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed all these videos and then the photos to come after the last video of showing him off live. And then I'm going to do some photos before and after. And I don't have a lot of after or before photos. I'm so sorry. I had to do some screenshots because I completely forgot to get photos of him before. I have no idea why, and I wish I would have, because the way he, you know, his face was positioned, I want you to see that, the detailing and all that. So I got a couple photos that are similar, but you know, I got to do what I got to do. I got to screenshot it from videos I've done. Other than that, I didn't get any before photos, but I did with Octavia. Thank God I remembered to do that with her. Even though hers is just a peeling process. But at least you guys learned a full silicone and then how to fix a peeling baby as well. And of course, he isn't going to be the same color as another baby. Just do it the color you like. If it's a full-term baby, it'll be a different color than what I did. It would be the colors like I'm doing on Octavia, and you'll get those videos, how I'm doing that. But all right, let's get on to that last step of showing this little guy off. All right, everyone, we are all done with little baby Abel, and he is just absolutely gorgeous. I love the way he turned out. I am very much into detail, so I did a lot of detail on this baby. And of course, I did the proper coloration for a 27 gestational baby, which would be a baby being born around 6.5 months. And they definitely can still live, but they have to stay in the hospital. In fact, with him looking so real like now, I want to bring him to a hospital. But anyways, he is just gorgeous. But let me tell you now, I am an artist. I have painted fingernails to portraits, to objects that people have given me to paint, to little figurines. I am definitely an artist. I just have never worked with silicone, you know, painting a silicone baby in silicone paints. And let me tell you, from all the videos I watched, all the studying I did, I thought it looked simple too, but it is not simple, you guys. Let me tell you, it was back-wrenching, very time-consuming, and very easy to make mistakes. In fact, I had a chemical reaction with him. I mentioned it in the video where when I did the silicone and the powder finish at the end, there was a reaction. One was there was a little bit too much silicone. So you see how I show you in the video, the one before this, how you get that off, or the one before that, how you get off the silicone. You want to, after you put it on, you want to brush a lot of it away and then use your hands and all of that. And then you want a very soft puff brush, because that's important too. The one I used at first was a hard one. And thank God, while he was wet, I was able to get it off, but it just, the paint even underneath would not come off. So it is not as easy as you think. If you are not an artist, really consider maybe finding somebody to paint your baby for you, or just really do a lot of studying. I am interested if anybody would like a baby painted, or you have a chipped baby, because you're going to also get to see Octavia, how I fixed her. I'll be starting her video starting tomorrow, and how I fixed the peeling she had. So if anybody's interested, I'll link right here my email, and it's also linked down in my box. Go ahead and contact me and we'll talk. But anyways, like I said, it's not as easy as it looks, you guys. It was a tough job, and it was a long process too. He took about 2.5 weeks to do, because of the dry time. Like I said, you can use a hair dryer, but if they're old babies, the hair dryer just wasn't working. I don't even know if it would have been a newer baby if it would have worked. I don't know. I just liked just letting him dry in the container with the cover on. But anyways, I had so much fun. I love the detail that I did. I love the way he turned out. In fact, I went outside and got photos, so you'll get the true color of him. On here, it's just not showing the true color, but you will see in the photos how beautiful in red tone he is. In fact, when I was outside, my little 5-year-old neighbor walked by and said, "Is that a real baby?" And he said, "He's so little." And so even he believed that he was a real baby. And I said, "No, it's not a real baby. It's just a doll." But isn't that funny that people really think he's real? And he was very close to me when he seen him. So he does look really real. Now, when I started with him, I don't know if I mentioned this, but he was not a good silicone. So it was very hard to work with a silicone that wasn't even good. He's a very cheap silicone. He was not made good. But I made this baby gorgeous. I am madly, madly in love with him. I made him a few little hats. He's got his little nook in. But I will take the hat up and the nook out so we can really go into detail and show you this baby. But I had so much fun, you guys. Have fun with painting. And like I said, if you are not an artist, really consider studying a lot, maybe taking a test run baby. He was actually my guinea pig baby. I'm just glad he turned out good because I loved him so much. I was hoping he would turn out so that I wouldn't have to just, wipe it all off quickly, which I would have had to do that with the first layer of paint. I would have had to take it off immediately while he was wet if it wasn't taking. But I'm glad that he turned out because he's gorgeous and I love him. And even though he wasn't that great of a baby, I'll show you what I mean. He still was so much fun to paint. And Octavia, fixing her peeling has been a joy too. She's just absolutely stunning. So let's get up close and personal with this little guy here. I hope you guys have enjoyed all these videos. Let's take out his little nook here. This was just a pacifier, and I took all the stuff around it because he's so tiny. I took all the plastic around it, filed it down with the file, and then I just took off the nipple and just put some, this is glue gun, and just kept building it up so that he has a little nook. I'm going to buy some. They're pretty expensive online. And then we're going to lift up this little hat so that you can see all of his paint work. All right, so we're going to get up close with his face and just look at this baby. Isn't the coloration gorgeous? Now, it may look like there's a little bit of like roughness to him. He is not rough. He is very soft. It just looks rough because of his silicone, the type of silicone he was. He was already kind of rough, and he had all these lines like the top of his head, the spot right here with all those lines. Like they, cut that off on the top, and just his ears weren't the greatest. I had to clean up his ears. Like they look way better now because they're painted. But yeah, just like the little pieces on it, just like really, really bad silicone. But I made him gorgeous. And like I said, he is very soft, and he's just looking different also in video. It doesn't look that way in person to me. He's very, very different in person. But I absolutely love him. He is just gorgeous, you guys. Gorgeous. He looks so lifelike. Like I said, that kid's 5 years old and he thought it was a real baby. I love the shininess in the eyes, under the nose, making it look like a runny nose because babies would have that. Of course, they cry a lot. Their lips, the shininess there. Inside his little mouth. Look at the inside of his mouth. Isn't that gorgeous? You guys, now, again, bad silicone inside, so some of the parts got a little bit dark on him, but still, it makes it look so lifelike with that. And then, of course, his cute little gums. Look at the gums in there. Just gorgeous, you guys. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Now, there's a little mishap I had when I was painting. This little spot right here when I was painting him with the sponge must have touched it, and I didn't see it because you can't see it when his face is like that. So I didn't see it. Of course, it dried, and I did everything. A file, I used sandpaper, everything before ever going over any more coats, and I couldn't get that off. Well, he's got a little birthmark. That's okay. We can call it a little birthmark. But check out the veining, you guys. Isn't it just gorgeous? The veining and all the artwork, his ears, how beautiful the ears look, all the beautiful coloration to him, the lifelike in him. Like I said, when I'm going to show you before and after, you just won't believe it. Look at the vein down his belly, his arms. Like I want to show you guys all that. His hands, all the detail I did, but see his hands now what I'm talking about? I even trimmed around that and the silicone was still not good. The tips are not good, but still he looks beautiful. The top of his hand, all the different, detail work I did on that. That's just baby powder in there, you guys. Just baby powder, powdered him. But anyways, all the veining in his hands there. And that's where I'm showing you like the mishaps with this baby not being that great of a silicone. And if he looks a little bit dry or patchy, well, that's what we're going to call it, a dry, patchy baby, because at this stage, they would definitely be. My son had patchy skin. My brother Rob did. So a lot of it, that's just baby powder. I can wipe that off. But if he looks, like I said, around his face or anything, which it looks way different in person, I don't know why this video is showing it to look more because he doesn't look that way in person. But it's just, we're just going to call it dry skin. You know, hey, run with it if you make a mistake, right? And then here's the other hand, but you can see again the fingers, how I had to cut around it. They just were not good. This was not a good silicone, but I made him gorgeous. I love him. Love the detail work on him. So beautiful. See this line? That's where they connected to the baby together. See how that line goes? It's so weird how he has these lines on him, but we'll just run with it and have fun with it. Again, down the side of him, he's got the line there. Again, underneath the armpit, they just didn't cut him right or anything. So I did try to clean him up the best I could. Love the rib cage, how I did the shadowing in there. So it really emphasized on his, you know, rib cage. And then, of course, that vein there, the veins there. And, of course, a baby this small, you want the veins very tiny. Be very careful with veining because veining isn't as easy as it looks. It's very, very tough. I love the belly button with the idea that I did to have the umbilical cord in there. And then we'll go down his legs so you can see his feet, the veining there, going down, the veining in his feet, how I did that. And again, his tips, look at the tips of his toes, how bad that silicone is. But I made it look the best I could. It doesn't matter. He's gorgeous. I don't care. He looks better in person. Again, more veining there and more artwork. Again, anything you see in the toes here is just baby powder. That's all it is. I powdered him. And then all the artwork on the bottom. Again, you can see that the silicone just was not a good silicone. I don't know, but we made him look good, didn't we, guys? Isn't he just adorable? Let's get one last look at his gorgeous face. And like I said, it's totally different in person. He does not have this coloration the way you're seeing it. I do have the light on, which is really bringing out, like, you know, any imperfections or flaws or whatever, but he's gorgeous in person. And that is not an imperfection. It's just the way his silicone was. That's all. You're working with the baby that's a lot softer and better silicone. Like Octavia, she's an EcoFlex 20. We don't know what this baby is. He is softer, but so many imperfections. But I think, you know, imperfections makes perfection. Like I told you, that is a quote for an artist. And the more imperfection that you have leading it towards perfection, and that's what it is. You don't want it to look like a doll. You want it to look like a lifelike baby. And nobody would have perfect skin tone, nothing, you know, no flaws or nothing. That would be impossible. You'd be a Barbie doll or a doll. So, but anyways, I had so much fun. I hope you guys enjoyed all of these videos. And now we'll start Octavia's fixing chipped or peeling babies. So now you got a full silicone paint job, and then you'll also see, and of course I did him a different coloration being a very young baby. The other ones would be the color of Octavia, like a full-term baby. So do it the color you want. Or, of course, if it was an, you know, like an African-American baby, of course, it would be darker and all of that. Or a Mexican baby, you'd make it darker, more like what he's looking like here, like more of a tan baby, but he isn't. He's red. I got great photos outside, so you get to see his true coloration of how I did him. And the color, again, is Rudy. I'll link it right down there. That's the color that you would want to look for if you want a baby to be red. I just took the reds I had and went with it. Didn't know about the Rudy until after I had painted him. But he's still got the beautiful reds that I wanted him to be. Looks just like my baby when he was born. He was born almost a month early, and he was real red. Looked like a mad little guy. Looked like a little Indian. So, but they said that is the color of a preemie baby. Look online. Look up real gestational babies being born around 6.5 months, and you'll see that they are very red babies. They are. Even my son being born a month early was super red. So, but anyways, again, if you guys would like to get a hold of me, if you'd like me to help you out with your baby fixing the peeling after you see Octavia's, how I fix that, or you have a full silicone that needs to be painted and you're scared now to do it yourself, since I'm telling you it was a project, just contact me. My email will be linked down below, and I had it up on the screen. I'll pop it up there one more time right now, right there. Go ahead and email me and we can talk. Other than that, I hope you guys had fun watching these videos, and thanks a lot for your support and all your comments. Everybody take care. God bless, and I will see each and every one of you in my very next upload. Say goodbye, little Abel.